Hi and welcome to This Week in Gaming with me, GD, the place for the hottest news, the UK top 5 and new releases of the week. In this week's news it's all about the PlayStation 4, with PlayStation hitting 1 million in 24 hours, a few launch issues and a few announcements. Also, if you want to skip to a certain section of the video, just click on the labelled section to the left. First in the news, Sony has announced that the PS4 is off to a solid start, selling 1 million units in the first 24 hours after it became available last Friday. The console was available only in the United States and Canada at launch, ahead of a broader worldwide rollout on the 29th of November. PS4 was designed with an unwavering commitment to gamers, and we're thrilled that consumer reaction has been so phenomenal, said Andrew House, President and Group CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment. Sales remain very strong in North America, and we expect continued enthusiasm as we launch the PlayStation 4 in Europe and Latin America on November the 29th. The 1 million sales make the PS4 the fastest selling PlayStation console yet, beating the PS2 launch in Japan. Though there are a lot of unhappy PS4 owners right now, as reports of bricked consoles and no available replacements come in from all over the web. Many sat out for hours waiting for stores to open, while others sat by the door waiting for the delivery truck. Users fired up their consoles, selected the first next-gen title, and sat in confusion as the console responded by shutting down and never turning back on. PS4s appear to be bricking left and right, with the worst possible news about the prospect of a replacement unit. There are currently several issues that appear to be plaguing the early PS4 owners. The most common appeared to be a blue pulsing light, signaling that the console is failing to boot all the way. Users have found ways to resolve this issue by checking the cables, but most have found their consoles bricked entirely with no way to resolve the issue. The pulsing light occurs at random times as well. Others found the issue out of the box, where others found the issue after hours of gameplay that was otherwise uninterrupted and flawless. Calling Sony support with this issue will result in some brief technical support attempts, followed by instructions to wait for a return box for a replacement unit. Overheating is a less common issue, but reports confirm the issue exists. The glowing line on the console glows red, and it can take up to 20 minutes before the console is playable again. There doesn't appear to be any one thing, like playing a certain game for a specific amount of time, that triggers this event. The seemingly random nature is little concerning, and if you call Sony with this issue, you'll be offered the ability to exchange the console for a new one. Finally, there has been reports of HDMI issues for the PS4 that seems to be mostly resolvable by the user. Some claim to find debris or blockages in the PS4 HDMI port, and clearing this debris resolves most issues. If you find yourself struggling to insert the HDMI cable, it's best not to force the connector. There have been some reports of faulty HDMI ports, but it's unclear whether or not these issues are related. Regardless of why any PS4 is experiencing issues, Sony is currently telling customers that new units won't be available until February. If you purchased your console through retail locations like Best Buy and GameStop, and you purchased one of the added warranties sold by those locations, you stand a better chance of getting a replacement console earlier. Amazon is currently telling customers that replacement consoles could be available in January, which is only slightly better. Finally, in this week's news, if the release of the PlayStation 4 wasn't exciting enough for fans due to the lack of compelling launch software, then Naughty Dog has some reassuring news. Uncharted 4 is currently in development exclusively for the PS4. If you're more of a fan of The Last of Us, Naughty Dog has you covered as well and revealed the game's upcoming campaign DLC titled Left Behind. There are virtually no details for Uncharted 4 other than the teaser shown. It features a seemingly unfamiliar voice telling a tale of what sounds like revenge, presumably to be taken out against Nathan Drake. Naughty Dog said it will reveal some real details soon, but just knowing Uncharted is headed to the PS4 is fantastic news on its own. On the PS3 front, The Last of Us will be getting a new campaign DLC entitled Left Behind. Left Behind is a prequel of sorts to the story in The Last of Us. You play as Ellie attending a boarding school in the Boston quarantine zone before she meets Joel. Instead of Joel, Ellie will tag along with her best friend Riley, who is featured in the Dark Horse comic series. You can pre-order Left Behind starting on November the 19th from the PlayStation Store, but it doesn't yet have a solid release date. Naughty Dog is citing the release as sometime in early 2014. Left Behind will cost $15 but is included in the Season Pass you can purchase on the PlayStation Store. Talking about release dates, as part of Sony's PS4 All Access event, developer Sucker Punch announced that Infamous Second Son will hit store shelves on March the 21st of next year. And to celebrate the announcement, they unveiled a new Neon-centric trailer. Neon, as some may know, is one of the May-Raid powers Infamous Second Son protagonist Delson Rowe will have at his disposal. As the trailer shows, the Neon power isn't all that different from Delson's smoke power, leaving a cool neon shadow as he zips across Second Son's version of Seattle. In addition to firm release dates, several new Infamous Second Son news items have come to light, including word of a PS4 bundle pre-packaged with the game. The bundle will of course come with the shiny new PS4 console, as well as a collector's edition of Infamous Second Son. The collector's edition includes a Delson Rowe beanie hat, a bonus mission that delves into Infamous 1 and 2 protagonist Cole's legacy, and a copy of Infamous Second Son. Many gamers are holding out for the launch of Infamous Second Son, which we now know will hit on March the 21st, 2014, to pick up a PS4. So here's a perfect opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. No pricing or price date has been revealed for the bundle, but there's still plenty of time for Sony to make those announcements. So, has the launch issues changed your mind about getting a PS4? Are you looking forward to Uncharted, The Last of Us DLC or Second Son? Tell us in the comments section below. Now it's time for the UK Top 5.
And even I dare ask.
A spazio verticale. Balotelli. Che gol! Splendida rete.
Spangle you till you see stars.
Oh, really?
And that's it for the UK Top 5 this week. To check the full Top 20, just click on the links in the details below. Now it's time for the new releases of the week for current consoles for Friday the 22nd of November, starting with Saint Seiya Brave Soldiers on the PS3. Next we have Need for Speed Rivals on the 360, PS3 and PC. Also, we have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag on the Wii U and PC. Next, we have Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. And finally, we have Tearaway on the PlayStation Vita. For the launch lineup of the Xbox One and PS4, we'll be doing a special new releases of the week later this week. That's it for another week in gaming for the week ending 23rd of November. Make sure to follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook in the links below. Also, if you like the show, hit the subscribe button and the like button below. And tune in later in the week for when we list the Xbox One and the PS4 launch titles. Also tune in next week for more of the heist news, the UK Top 5 and new releases of the week, right here on This Week in Gaming.